echoes turned to echoes, and the echoes turned to lies.
They saw this easy comfort and a blindfold for her eye. Said to trust the hand that feeds you. Don't you dare to ask it why. But I hunger for the real thing.
Is a fire you can't deny.
Yeah, the ground is starting to shake now. Can you feel it in your bones? We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
Every color, every creed now, tired of a great divide. We're looking for the facts, not fiction, with our conscience as our guide. They built their thrones on silence, but the quiet's over now.
We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
Let them hear the voices, a million strong and clear. The age of make-believe is over. The reckoning is here. We will not be fools. We will rise for justice and for truth. We will not be fools.
Brother Brian is innocent. Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Good morning. Do you think it's fair game for the public to hear exactly what happened in the IDAHO4 case? Because I will say this case keeps people up at night. And you know what? We should really be getting some rest. We should be getting some rest. And there's still no answers to date. Brian Koberger has not filed a post-conviction relief. And the amount of people starting to wake up to what happened in the IDAHO4 is spreading. And it is a good thing. I made a video yesterday, and now people are questioning, folks. Did it get to the views that I wanted? No, but let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. This video, as soon as it loads, is going to start. I mean, if you're on the TikTok streets, please share this video. Let's watch it real quick and we'll get into it. DNA found at the crime scene that also matched any blood found at 11227 King Road. Well, according to the reports, male unknown C was actually item 30, submitted swab stain on the bottom handrail at 1122 King Road. That's male C. But also, male C was a submitted swab from a West Kitchen at 11227 apartment 1, who the roommates were Jack Decor. Now I'm going to have a members only continuation of my live stream today on the YT, and you definitely don't want to miss this. Okay, so we saw that yesterday. I put it all together for the members only. That video is still up. You can go ahead and see that. But the kind of responses that I'm getting is like this. So why did the judge deny information in regards to this type of information? It's disgusting how corrupt our government is. And I basically replied, because in a closed hearing, the judge says maybe someone will come forward and confess. Those were basically Judge Hippler's words. Unknown male B, C, and D DNA. Now, when I say this, I'm very serious about this. We still don't have answers today. And it says I'm glitching bad. Okay, well, go out, hit the like button, come back. This is going to be wild. So this live stream is kind of like a live dig today. Let me welcome you all in. Hello, Caleb. Good morning, sir. Jackie, good morning. Rebecca, good morning. Dina, good to see ya. Munson, I love your name. Good to see ya. No talkie before coffee is in the house. Whoop, whoop. Multiples mama, good morning. And good morning, Phoenix, Amanda B, Dina, and Nesters. Buckle up. It's Truth Tuesday and more Phoenix fireballs, and you know the drill. Yeah, you know the drill. Good morning, Lola Garcia, Donna Rosa. Good morning, Lulu Bell. Yes, we have the trendiest mod squad ever. Patty is in the house. Good to see every single one of you. Les, good morning. I'm glitching bad. Ooh, hopefully it will help. Public service announcements. Remember, these documents are not as straightforward as everything seems. Absolutely not. And once you understand how they did this, and I'm going to show you an example in 1 minute, it is going to blow your mind. That is why you need to read for yourself. So when I say you need to read for yourself, I mean you need to go and read for yourself, just as Caleb said. Good thought process here, because look at what they did. This was in report. Oh gosh, what report was this? Hold on. 11. And this was the major report they referenced in the state's exhibits. Half wall of stairway. ISP went in and said, okay, we're going to call this D2, markers 25, 26. But when ISP, Forensic Services, gets it, they call markers D, E, V, and W. Now, I don't know why their naming system is this way, but obviously there was a lot of errors done that needed to be corrected, even in the court documents. And Anne and her team went back and made sure that those were fixed. Indeed, they were fixed, because they show the updated numbers in regards to the corrections. So, there's no new records on file to date. It's been about 2 weeks since any documents dropped again. And I'll just say this. It's unfortunate. Separate investigations make hard things to unscramble. Absolutely. They all have some type of naming system. They all have some type of let's gather this and that system. Now, I have asked for information from the Moscow Police Department and also the DA's office in regards to some of these supplements to confirm that this was accurate, like this one, S478, States for Exhibit 78. This item at 1127 King Road, Lab 37, because people are up in arms about Lab 37. Lab 37 was male B, okay, but male C, I'm sorry, that was male C. The unknown male C DNA profile obtained from 37.1. I'm getting a lot of pushback because they know that I made the connections. It's there for you to see. 125% in my little diagram that I made. 37 point what was it? 37.1 leads directly to male C. Male C was found at apartment 1 at 1127. They are so busted, Caleb. Okay. So I've asked, and it's like one of those big boards, and I have my timeline up. I have big boards. I like big boards, and I cannot lie. And it's amazing what you see when you start printing it out, putting it in big pictures, and you look at it. 37.1 is a male C that was also found at 1127 apartment 1. And now we know why, in fact, Jack DeCour was obviously in the documents, in the ISP documents, listed as the major suspect. Okay. Now, when you start looking at those documents and the forensic documents, obviously, does Jack DeCour have any Italian in his surname? Well, you know what? Let's do a live dig. Does anybody know the answer? Surname Deucour, DeCour. Now, I know it comes from the Coeur d'Alene area. I thought it was maybe English, or it's actually French. Decour is a French meaning of the court. That's exactly what I just Googled. And that comes from Wikipedia. Now, is that correct? I don't know, but I can go down the history, genealogy, and take a look at that if I was interested. Now, my aunt started me in genealogy over 30 years ago, because I know my ancestry and I know they came from Spain. So Decour comes from French, meaning of and court. Now, isn't this just kind of odd that the number one suspect that they put in the back of the car at the scene of the crime as soon as it's reported? And isn't it just ironic? I think you guys are following me here, Munson. And they buried the documents and muddled to cause confusion. And so wild, the prosecutors need to be held accountable. I agree, Munson. And nobody was going to tell you that. I don't think any of people's average favorite YouTubers that are claiming that have followed this case for 3 years have ever put that together, because they still don't want you to know, in my humble opinion. And why would they continue to hide something such as this? Why do you think? I know the big court case is coming up. I know that the G's want to clear Jack DeCour of any wrongdoing. But let me tell you this. Somebody at 1127 left their DNA blood at 1127. Now, we know that Jack and Kaylee were broken up. Is it possible he could have been there? Is it possible whoever got stabbed in the glove that was found in the backyard? And did they leave a trail? I don't see any evidence that has been released yet to date to state that. Now, that polar glove was found by some YouTuber. Isn't that correct? Who found the polar glove? And people are, I've got a few topics I want to talk about just because of the live dig. Did you guys see Lana last night? She was able to snag Peggy. Peggy Gunn was on her show last night. She was able to snag her for an interview. I thought it was pretty interesting, the interview that she was playing, the questions that were asked. And one thing that I did notice that Lana had said was that there was no ISP for Peggy Gunn, but there actually was a report on that for Peggy Gunn. And I wanted to take a look at this and see if her, obviously, interview. Did anybody see that? Anybody at all? There was a DMV. There was a interview with the ISP, and that was interview 124. So I had to go and look at item 124. Indeed, Peggy was on the witness list. Okay. I saw her name. I didn't even, when I searched all these names, I didn't even see, nothing comes up that she's at the DMV other than she's 40 and lives in Pullman. And obviously, I just showed you her Facebook page. Now, obviously Lana jumped on it the morning she made the video to get an interview with her, and that is awesome. But here's the deal. There is so much more to this case. So let's go and look at interview 124 with the Idaho State Police. And let's see what she said back then, because obviously this was really quick after the murders. And let's see what she says in 124. All right, here it is. So ISP Detective Powell and Jacob Swinky went on January 4th, 2023, almost a month and a half later. And there was surveillance camera footage and conducted interviews with blank, Peggy Gunn, in Pullman, Washington. Brian Koberger switched the title and registration on his 2015 Hyundai Elantra from Pennsylvania to Washington on November 18, 2022. The evidence was collected, and obviously the victims that occurred at 1122 King Road. Unknown female witness. On January 4th, 2023, Schwenke and I met blank, who is the owner of blank in Pullman. So it doesn't specifically say Peggy. It was the actual owner of blank in Pullman. They informed us, and she did say that last night on the interview. I caught that. She said that it was private surveillance, and so this is who they must be entering this report for. So that was report 124. And basically says that the owner changed the title and vehicle registration from Pennsylvania to Washington. Blank was able to provide us with security camera footage, including audio of the transaction with her clerk, Peggy Gunn Blank, and a receipt of transaction. Schwenke and I interviewed Blank at the following, and here's the summary of the interview. It was very quick. She remembered Koberger coming in and switching the plates. She recalled Koberger was a super nice guy and very charming, which lines up to exactly what she says. Okay. She didn't get bad vibes. You can go to her TikTok video that I showed yesterday. She doesn't say anything about, he's got bad vibes or this and that. You can go look at you think he's innocent, all these other comments. I mean, she's responding to these comments. And so in this interview, she basically said he wore gloves, just like she said last night. They were like isotoner gloves. Super nice guy and very charming. She even added him to their Christmas card list. Now, I didn't know this interview was out there until someone tagged me and said, hey, she is live right now with Lana. Try to check it out. I went over there for about 5 minutes, got so entirely busy with this resurrection week. And I'll tell you, I baked breads yesterday. I baked scones this morning. I've got other things I need to get done. But she basically said the same exact things. It was cold, and obviously people wear isotoners in that area. It's freaking cold out there, guys. I miss my winter clothing some days, but I don't miss the winter snow at all. And the reason Koberger was switching his title and vehicle to Washington is that he was a graduate student at WSU and needed to get residency, which is making sense, right? All makes sense. I turned all evidence and surveillance footage of audios of interviews over to the MPD. So this was the detective for ISP. She said 2 detectives came out, which is check, true. And they got the video. She was very nice, sweet, to the point, and it was absolutely amazing to see a breath of fresh air in this case, other than all the sketchy people that we see left and right. All right. I'm just saying there's a lot of sketchy stuff going on in the Idaho 4. And one thing that I will say for sure is that nothing adds up except for this right here. Right here is the only thing that adds up in this case. Now, a lot of people are saying that the audio and the video is off in regards to the body cams. What do you all think about that? I'm going to show you a body cam that solidified for me that these body cams are spot on. Now, the time of the event of the unalivings, I'm not sure, but I will say this. She talked so nice about Brian even after his charges and all the female. Yeah. Well, remember, WSU allegations were just allegations. When they did their investigation, WSU and had the report of the investigation, and they found no wrongdoing on Koberger. No wrongdoing. And even the professor, when interviewed by the FBI, stepped back and said, well, maybe it's not. They conveniently left out why he had no front license plate. That's a good point. Yep, she is on TikTok. I showed her TikTok yesterday. You can go follow Peggy Gunn. And, just for reference, let me just take a peek real quick. Hold on. And I showed that yesterday. And let's see what she's at. She was at like 200 followers. Let's watch a new video of hers that I haven't watched. She's answering some questions.
Is about the gloves he wore when he came into the DOL. Yes, I do remember him wearing gloves the entire time he was there. I remember them being black leather gloves, like driving gloves, which is a little bit odd because not a lot of people wear those these days. But he said he was from back east, so I figured maybe that is more commonplace there. It didn't seem to be like super strange or creepy that he was wearing gloves the entire time, just more kind of quirky. So,
and here's another video that came out.
Hey, so people are asking about when I brought the murders up to Brian Koberger when I was helping him that day, if he responded or not. He did respond. You cannot make it out on the video. It was a short response. His eyes kind of widened and he said, "Oh, I know, right?" And then the topic got quickly changed after that. I was very shocked when I found out that I had actually mentioned it to him, and his response at the time seemed normal. Looking back on it, I don't know if it was a giveaway or anything like that, but yeah, he definitely widened his eyes and was like, "Oh, I know, right?"
And I kind of question, I know, right? Maybe he knew something about the murders, because remember, in the document I read, the MPD that interviewed him, he actually, guys, was somehow knew about the projects Pullman Police Department was doing, and what was the other one? Pullman PD, and hold on, let me just go ahead and hold on. What was the other one that he said he was familiar with the projects? Does anybody remember? Hold on a minute. Let me see. Here it is. This is the report. So when they asked Detective Gilbertson, asked Koberger about the job he mentioned, Koberger stated he was a teaching assistant that was at WSU. Koberger then talked about how busy he was and how the funding package that comes along with being a teacher's assistant is what makes the extra work worth it. So obviously he was getting a stipend, an extra bonus for the job he was doing, paid internship. I don't know how much those are. I mean, in some states, they're pretty sizable. Let's just say, how much is a university teaching assistant pay on a, let me just see what it is. Stipend. How much is a teaching pay? The average is $18,000, which hourly rates equal $9. So, I mean, let me see for a PhD student. And it might be a little bit more for a PhD student. Whoa. The stipend for a university teaching assistant for a PhD student. Holy freaking moly. I'm in the wrong business, guys. Give it up for Phoenix Talks, man. She is working it. They get about a $2,000 stipend. Okay, listen to this. WSU PhD degree for our department give motivating self students. The average stipend is $1,949 a month. Common scholarships with a 20-hour work week. That's almost just enough for full time. The stipend is provided for the 9-month academic year, health insurance, and most tuition costs, resulting in a value of up to $46,396 a year on a 9-month academic scholarship. Well, stipend. All students in good academic standing typically receive 1 additional month of pay for teaching or research assistance during the summer. Therefore, within a 9-month assistantship plus 1 month of summer pay receives a total stipend of $1,949 per year. That's 9 months. But by the time you add in most tuition costs, health insurance, wow. And he was recommended for this position. Recommended top 2 for this position. Doesn't make sense at all. Factually innocent, and they asked him to go there. They invited him there. They invited an outsider with a different mindset to go to Washington to do what? To do what, folks? What was he doing in Washington? Well, he did mention, like I brought up before, he talked about how busy he was and the funding package that comes along with being a teaching assistant is what makes the extra work worth it. He was getting paid. Okay? He was getting paid to do what they knew he could do. Koberger then discussed ongoing projects. It doesn't say, folks, what those projects were. This is the detective and Payne writing this document. They might have got some information from him. If that was his research and that's what he was doing and paid to do, he could have discussed way more with them. We don't know. And maybe that's why they won't release these documents, no matter how many times people ask for them. They're never going to get them. They're never going to get any interviews with Koberger because of the sensitivity and the subject. And yes, Dina, perhaps research he was doing. And yes, Caleb, her channel has only gone up 100 people in the last 2 days. Okay, just 2 people. She only has 2 followers, which is kind of odd. And if you go back to her profile, she has 356 followers. She's only following 2. She's following the Independent and Jay Tizzle. Those are the only 2 people that she is following. So I know it's odd, but the Independent is obviously maybe going to do an interview with her because of the DMV video that was put out there. And, you know, obviously you can see everyone who is following her. 356 people are following her. And you can kind of get an idea of what kind of people follow her. And it's probably a lot of true crime I see. A lot of true crime recognition that we see. People that are interested in the Idaho 4 case, people who read the article. I mean, it was pretty Robin Christopher ESQ. It was pretty well spread on the social media side. So yeah, that is her channel. You can go and take a look and see what's going on over there. Now, keep in mind the severity of the research that Koberger was practically doing, right? That Payne and Gilbertson sat down with him, and they said he discussed ongoing projects with WSU, obviously where he worked, and Pullman. So there has to be some type of connection with Pullman PD and the WSU. The only connection that I know of, just thinking off the top of my head here, I haven't dug into this or done any research, but the ongoing project is WSU has the government lab there. Okay. Government lab do work with Pullman PD. So obviously there's something going on besides just the former police chief over at Pullman who was fired for or who knows, I don't know, allegedly fired or resigned, whichever one it was, because of the improper things happening. And what do we get? Lo and behold, ISP releases all the Pullman stuff, all the emails, and we went over a video showing that. Do you guys drop a 1 if you remember all the Pullman emails that we went over? All the Pullman emails. ISP released the Koberger file, and it actually had Pullman emails with a lot of favoritism going on and things like that. Okay. Because it was through discovery that they had to grab those. I remember that, and it was very interesting because, to say the least, the disclosures of all that was wild, right? They were the Pullman emails, all the things about the chief, the people involved, and special projects. And it's crazy. And if you ever want to go see where those are, ISP, type ISP Koberger. And what you'll get is the ISP link, and I'll drop it below so you guys can see it. And it's just a simple link. It says Moscow. You go to the link to the public records. There it is. I put it in the chat for you. And did you guys not get it? Did it go? Why is it not going? Hold on. You can go right to the website, and it looks like this. This is the FOIA request. And you can go and see all of the reports. Where did all the reports go? Oh, that's weird. Okay, there's 6 files in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 forensics documents. They're they got to be here. Or is it under photos? It's under one of these, and all you do is download it, and you can go and see the Pullman. But remember, we did a stream on it, guys. We did a stream. We talked about all these documents. And let me see if I labeled it Pullman emails. Live Dig. This is the one that is right here. Live Dig, Pullman emails, and part 1, 2, 3, and 4. These Pullman audio video released. Here it is. And in this, redacted. So that was the Pullman part.
And so I was like, both of you come upstairs right now. Like, we all have to be together. And then when they came upstairs, Sadie was on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. When you guys showed up.
Yeah,
It was like at the same time. I was on the phone and 911.
This was on.
They don't pay attention.
Have you never seen a car?
A big bunch of boys live next.
This was the audio of the 4 girls. I don't know if you remember that. The 4 girls, and I called it Pullman 4 instead of Idaho 4. And all these files were in there. We went over who all these people were. We listened back to that. We went to the Jose Cruz body cam. And then we also went through some more documents and looked at some history and some background in the area. Okay. So we went and we talked about this. Now, I've got another thing on the agenda for today. And if you guys have any questions, drop them below because we're on a live dig. If you have a question, we'll go down that rabbit hole and we'll find the answers quickly. So there was a comment of someone who said, Phoenix, have you seen this picture? And I thought, no, I've never seen this picture. And I thought, let's go and find this source. Okay. And I looked through, this is the picture. Let me throw it up here real quick. Yeah, the cruise rabbit hole led to nowhere, nada. Nowhere. Not even the cigarette butts. They didn't match because we never got a match from the documents that were shared publicly. Nothing. It was a big fat no burger. Okay. Have you ever seen this picture, Phoenix? And I'm going to remove your comments real quick. And I want you guys to I spy this picture. They are disgusting over there, especially with their campus police. I spy this picture, guys, for me. What do you notice in this picture that no one has ever talked about? No one. I'll give you a minute in case there's a lag, because there usually is. They never released information on the results. Correct. The blood from the whites, they investigated. They went over there, but obviously we didn't get any update on it. No release. What do you notice in this picture? Okay, I'm going to point it out. I'll make the picture, I'm going to impose the picture a little bit bigger to focus on one area so we're all on the same page. There we go. This is wild. I'm going to put this other picture up here. Does anybody notice something? Does anybody notice anything? Oh, wait a minute. Nope. We're doing a little I spy. And then we're going to go to body cam footage. Selective investigating is a great word. I want somebody to look on the ground. Is that a tarp or is it a blanket? Is that a tarp or is it a blanket? Is it snow? Is it, I mean, what do you think? Drop it below what you think. Drop it below. Because here's the deal. I went through body cam footage last night like you wouldn't believe, and they hardly do any. Remember when I was looking for the Queen Road apartments to see if they had any windows on that side of the house? It looks pink and it looks like a blanket. It does. It looks like a blanket. Absolutely looks like some type of tarp or blanket. So let's take a little adventure and go on a live field trip. Let's go to the body cam footage and let's take a look at that side of the house. This is the only coverage that I found on that side of the house. And this is on the left side of the house if you're facing the house, which would be the west side of the house, in my humble opinion. Let's take a look. Now, Officer Rosinski shows up. Thank you, Connor. This is on Connor's YouTube. I'll drop the link below so you can go do your own research. Always suggest you do. Okay? And over to this side where this little car is parked, you can see a tiny bit of it. Does anybody see that? Just the tiny bit that's above the white car, in between the black car over there. Just a blank. Outside, the crime scene tape is outside of that blanket. I believe it should be. And that's the only time that I could see that from over there. There's blurred over here on the tree, which you can see that blurring. As a matter of fact, that's a great point, Munson. I'm going to screenshot this area. I'm going to put it in a filter. And while we're watching it, let me go throw this in a filter and see. Now, oh, shoot. I wanted to stop it. Now, some people are saying that this body cam timing is wrong. And I want us to do this together as an exercise and listen for the church bells in the background. If you remember, I called the university and asked about the bell system, and then I called the church. And I said, look, I'm just going to be very transparent. I'm watching body cam footage from the IDAHO4, and I hear bells in the background. And the guy said, that may not be the university bells. It may be the church bells. And I thought, well, and then he explained to me how the church bells sound and how they, go off. He said, every hour on the hour, and if you look at the right-hand upper corner, it is 4 o'clock on the dot. 4.24 seconds. 4 o'clock, 0 minutes, 24 seconds. And he said, you'll hear the little chime, and then it'll stop, and then you'll hear the consecutive bells bang, bang, bang for the time. And I wanted to see if these body cam in this footage is off by any means. So let's turn up the volume. Hopefully you've got some earphones in. And let's listen together. Those are the chimes. How many bells did you guys hear? Drop it below. How many bells did you guys hear? We can do it again as an exercise. Here it goes. Get ready. It's coming up in 10 seconds. 9, 8. Now, here's the problem with this. Here's the problem with this. You are absolutely correct. And I have been saying this all along, okay? And I proved it in a video. Let me just pull it up so you guys can see it here. All right. Here is the history of the weather and the sun setting. All right. And the temperature. And you will see hours of daylight, twilight, all that good stuff. Okay. So the 13th for Moscow, Idaho is 3, that's meridian, moonset, moon rising. Let's see, sunset. Hold on. Moscow, Latah County, Idaho. Sunset and sunrise. Why did it not pull it up? October, November 13th. November 13th. All right. November 13th, 2022. Let's see what it says. Mostly cloudy, cold. Why is it not showing me the sunset? Elevation, I don't need to know that. Dew point, wind speed, direction, visibility, sunset, where are you at? Okay, local 453. Is that right? Does that sound? And it could be the bell towers off, right? It could be the bell towers off. But if you look at the time, it says 4:01. But if you go forward in a little bit ahead, you're going to see something interesting. Now, the time could be off at the bells. All right? You're going to see when the sun actually goes down and it becomes dark. Okay? This is 4:37. This is just about the time frame before it gets dark. 4:33. And what time did I say that the sun was setting that day? Hold on. Let me look at another. Either the bells are off or the cameras are off. Bells never change, but old-fashioned bells, they are electronic now. And that's why I was trying to figure out what was it the university bells or was it the church bells? The church isn't very far from there. It's not very far at all. Let me go ahead and pull another website to see. Moscow, Idaho, November 2022. All right, here is the sunset and the sunrise. On the 13th, the sun set at 4:17 p.m. So let's see if we can narrow this down. 4:17 p.m. Let's go to 4:17. It is a little overcast. And let's see if we can see the sun setting at 4:17. Well, it's going to be hard because honestly, this kind of light into dark. Okay, so it still looks pretty light outside. So let's go to 1717 and let's see if it gets to what it looks like sunset. That's the only other way that we can see if these cameras are off. I don't think they give it to us. This is already at 1640, guys. And there you have the moon out already. So which is it? Are the bells correct or the body cam off by an hour? Well, the only way I can figure out how to rectify this is to go back and look at Connor's video that someone was walking around. Was it somebody standing outside? That's the phone. Was somebody standing outside? Who was it? Warner? Hold on a minute. Was it Warner or was it? There's three.
Set it on a
That's
docket
three.
card.
That's two. Let's see if there's another video cam. A body cam that shows us the time outside. Nobody was outside. It was Rosinski's, the only one that I found close enough. So this looks like the sun is, I don't know, do you think it's setting or just getting dark?
Yes.
Oh, that's not the moon, it's a glare.
Well, go hang out and figure out what's going on. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have to go back and that was the only body cam that I found that was getting close to the sunset. Everything else is later on in dark. So this would be 17. It's already dark. It's already dark. So the sun is already set. So the cameras, it looks to me, the cameras are correct. The bells must have been off. Is that possible? Because the time change was the weekend before? They sound like admin bells. Admin bells. Is the university, I wonder if the university is not on electric. University of Idaho bells. Are they electronic? Oh, here we go. The University bells of Idaho are electric. They are part of the Carlin, which has been digitalized since 1988 to replicate bell sounds and is highly automated using sound speakers and wires to produce the bells. So they are electronic. So if the university is electronic, and that is 5 o'clock, then the body cams must be off by an hour. Is that possible? Is that even possible? They probably don't change them. Well, just like phones, hold on, let me look at this. Shumrick Carlin. Oh, well, let me copy it. Shumrick Carlington is highly automated. This is the library. Mystery music of U of I clock tower. I guess they had mystery music. Pomp and circumstance, silver gold, winter wonderland, let it snow. Let's see. David Memorial Carlin in a commemorates the commemoration. Modern clarion is the replacement for the original David Memorial Carlin, and that is the church bells. Interesting. Schuster Carlian. Fight song, live player, 1978. This was in regards to the mystery of the clock towers. All right, the possibility for such concerts. Shumrick. I'm going to see what the Bell Company is. A high automated that only sounds, let's see, the most realistic bells. Interesting. So let's see if they change with the time change. Let's see. The most realistic bells. Oh, that's interesting. It's a little electronic hooked up to installations, university, community, memorial, retirement community, Carlians. Keyboards, towers, notification system. Digital. This is interesting, guys. Let me see. Yeah, we're on a live dig today. Welcome in. We're looking for the truth of these bells to see if the body cameras are off or if it's the bells that are off. And the university bells run on this system. And that's why those definitely sound like admin building bells to me. And that's why I went down this little path. And let me see about daylight savings time. Let's see, notification system, campus notification. They can, keyboards, installation. Let me see if I can find something about daylight savings time. Because the day, it was November 6th, I believe, of 2022. 2022. Okay, it was set on March 13th, 2022, when the clocks were set forward 1 hour. Sunrise and sunset being an hour later before. Let me see, November 6th. This is when it was changed back. November will be set back 1 hour, November 6th for this. So they adjusted. So it had to been an hour behind on the body cameras. And as much as they have spent on those body cameras in March of 2022 or early spring, I remember we did some research. These body cams should have automatically changed. All of them should have automatically updated. So if it's off by an hour, then the time frame of the people arriving on the 911 call is off by an hour. Is that even possible? Because I thought, and from what I understand as a wife of an, ex-husband that had body cams, I understand that you have to put it back on the dock for it to update to the system, to relay the videos to the system. And if it was during daylight savings time, it has to dock. So someone is saying they're off by an hour and 26 minutes. Wow. How is that even possible? I'm reading the chat, Caleb. I see it. I'm going to put it back up on the screen. An hour and 26 minutes. An hour and 26 minutes. How can we time that? An hour. Okay, so sunset was at 4. What did I say? 32? Let me go back. 4:17. Remember 4:17. How could we go back to verify if it is indeed an hour and 26 minutes? I don't know where somebody came up with that time frame. Do you know where that came from, Caleb? So if sunset was at 4, this is 5:17. And if I go one back, 16:17, the sun's not even set yet. So that would give me 1 hour. This is when the sun starts setting. And that is at 11:42-ish. So that would be 16:42 by 17. 42 minus 17 is, no, it would be, hold on. Let me go 43. 43, the sun is setting. That looks like sun is setting. So 16:43, you take 43 minus 4:17. Is that an hour and 26 minutes? Damn. Sherlock was right. An hour and 26 minutes. I never realized that until just right now. An hour and 26 minutes. This body cam. Wait a minute. This is Morris. This was Morris. And that's Morris that was just released 10 days ago. And the one that I showed you was Rosinski, which was released a long time ago. And now that makes the connection an hour and 26 minutes behind. Holy frick. Rosinski was an hour and 26 minutes behind. And that was released 2 months ago. The sun should have already been set. Right here. The sun would have already been set. 1:26. Wow, wherever Sherlock is. Yeah, Sherlock just said he solved the case. That's why he got banned. He solved the case. How did he solve the case? How did he solve the case? Did anybody see it? Who did it? Where are his videos? Did he not back them up? This was 7 months ago from Harsh Reality. Let's listen to this real quick. Sherlock Holmes manipulated timeline review.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well. You amazing, amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. It's amazing, amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. It's I changed what this live was going to be about. Obviously, I'm going to go through these docs. I moved them yesterday because the day just went mental. Then I was going to do them today, but then a lot of you, and I mean a lot,
What in the
about
world?
50 emails that were talking about
see if I can
the
fast
Sherlock
forward this a little.
Holmes interview. He has gone over with a fine tooth comb the time frame of the crime, and shows now what piqued my curiosity with this is that someone else had reached out to me some time ago. I can't remember who it was, but they had gone through all of the footage, the Linda Lane footage, the footage that we have, that long footage, and showed with some accuracy that there are parts of that skip. And how they originally found out that there was some of that was cut was that there's a piece of that shows a cat on some steps, and the cat vanishes. And they thought, hold on a second, there's a cat, and it's walking up the stairs, and all of a sudden the cat disappears. So then they start looking at the time frame, the clock, and you see, as you watch that all the way through, there's pieces of it where it skips. Every now and again, there were pieces of that footage that jumps, and you lose, like, sometimes it might just be 7 seconds, then it might be 14 seconds, and it might be 10 seconds. But as you go through that entire piece of footage, all these little cuts, they equate to a large period of time. And what we're looking at here is the potential that all of these little cuts, all of these little bits that are missing, equate to a specific period of time. That on the grander scheme of things, you then lose around 7 minutes of time across the entire board. And this is something that Ann Taylor brought up herself in the courtroom, in terms of there is a period of time that's missing, and even though you may not feel that's important, on the grander scheme of things, it is important. And Sherlock Holmes, being a very smart individual, what I will say is that in the pinned comment is the link to Sherlock Holmes' video. And I would tell anybody to go and watch it. Now, I'm purposefully going to play the first half of this video. We'll go over the first half of it together. And then I'm going to stop at the halfway line. And then I want you to go and view Sherlock Holmes, the remainder of that video. Now, I'm doing that out of courtesy because ultimately this is Sherlock Holmes' video. He has done all the work and he deserves the credit. Now, I want to bring people's attention to it because I feel that it warrants people's attention. But obviously, if I go through the entire video, then there is no need for you guys to head over there and watch his video because you've already seen it. And that would be honest with you and implore you to go over and watch the remainder because it is quite telling. But thank you to those of you who have come in already. Again, this is a little bit, how can I say, unplanned. Well, I say unplanned, it was planned, then it was unplanned. So yeah, you know, I'm like, me and lives are not friends. But shall we go over to it? Shall we go over and have a look? Let's go and have a look. So this is looking at the Linda Lane footage, the timeline of the murders themselves. And is the timeline that we have accurate? Let's check it out.
All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm going to go through the hypothesis one more time with the time corrected, and I'm going to explain the time correction and offer some subtext on how we got here, because I'm getting a lot of questions about that subtext specifically. So I've gotten a lot of questions about, you know, where does this time come from? Where does this time come from? So let's go through it. Pavarotti had initially hypothesized that the Banfield body cam was off or subtracted from by 1 hour and some change. And it reached a bottleneck. It reached a snag because one of the things that goes along with the hypothesis is Molly's testimony that she gives the description of seeing the undercover Ford Fusion and a description of Tisdale at 3:57 a.m. And that's part of the hypothesis. However, if the undercovers ran down to Taylor Ave and turned on their body cam to cover their ass, as per this hypothesis, and the body cam turns on right at 2:53 a.m., and the real time is actually 3:53 a.m., and the body cam continues on for another 16, 17 minutes, well, then that's going to place the undercovers in two places at the exact same time. It's going to include the minute 3:57 a.m. They can't be down on Taylor Ave, and also Molly seeing them up on Queen Road, both at 3:57 a.m. And that's the snag that Pavarotti's hypothesis hit for a couple days. And then someone realized that
again, what I just want to point,
the time delta.
What I just want to point out before we go any further, for those who kind of come in, I want to, like Indigo Sleuth said, it's a fabricated timeline. Now, I do feel that this has definitely been manipulated. Like I say, where did it come from me? For me to, you know, I'll look at stuff. Sometimes I'll look at people, like a lot of people will come at me and they say, hey, you need to check this video out, you need to check that video out. And to be fair, a lot of the time I won't, because the work that goes behind it, I would have to do just as much work to check on it, to make sure that it's right and make sure that it's accurate. And I will, like with the green Elantra, for instance, the only bit on the green Elantra situation that sort of spoke my curiosity was that it looked like there was a front plate that was set on the lower front of that balance. Now, with respect to this time frame, what was the issue for me? And that was that I'd already previously been shown that the timeline that we saw had issues with it. It did have issues with it because you could see that it was indeed jumping and skipping. So yeah. Yeah, I did see Nancy Gray says BK is plotting his appeal. I did see that video. I was going to give her a roasting today, but I thought, no, this is far more important. But let's just go back into it.
Includes an extra 7 minutes or so, 7 minutes and some change. And it just so happens that 7 minutes is precisely the amount of time that the undercovers would need to do whatever it is they're doing up on Queen Road and then run down to Taylor Ave and turn on that body cam. Like, it turns out that 7 minutes is precisely what they would need to avoid that conflict of being in two places at once. Being in two places at once meaning point A, Molly is seeing them up on Queen Road, and then point B, they're also down on Taylor Ave turning their body cam on at 2:53 a.m., which is really 3:53 a.m., and then they're down there for a while, including 3:57 a.m. Do you see what I mean? In order to avoid that conflict, more time is needed in the Delta, and people realize, well, that time is included.
Just when he says Delta, by the way, for those who don't know, that just means like a change, when something is being changed. I think he does go on to explain that, but I just, because it's said a few times before that is clear, I just want to bring that up. The word Delta in this context means change.
There's a 7-minute delta that's included that actually gives them exactly the amount of time they would need to avoid that inconsistency. So I hope I explained that appropriately, and I hope people get that. So the bottleneck was overcome by this 7 minutes and change. Now, I initially thought it would be good to use time A in Delta 1 as when Molly got to the, I approximated what time Molly got to the back parking lot 1122 King Road, and I thought that would be a good time A slot for Delta 1, but it's not. It's not. And the reason it's not is because this hypothesis is all about testing the time in the body cam with respect to the state's case theory. So we want to pick a time A slot that aligns with the state's case theory. And upon my first draft of testing this hypothesis, I thought, my silly little brain thought it would be a good idea to use a stopwatch and see, well, is it possible that it could have taken Molly about 1 minute and 26 or 1 minute and 27 seconds to get up to the back parking lot?
Okay, so let's do this. If we're hypothetically saying that body cam is off by an hour and a half, and they're saying that this crime took place at 4:17, that's when they hear the thud and yada, yada, yada. So subtract an hour from that is 3:17, and subtract 26 minutes from 3:17. So what time would that give us in time if it's 60? So 3:17 minus 26 minutes would be hold on a minute. 26 minutes, which would be 251-ish. Hold on a minute. Let me look back at this. 251. Hold on a minute. Let me look at my timeline on the wall. Hold on 1 second. I'm looking at 242. Someone screams, "No, help me." So 317 minus 26. Hold on a minute. 317 minus 26 minutes. You got to go. That would be 2. That would be 3. 3, and then 11 minutes minus 3. Holy shit. 3 o'clock. Hold on 1 second. I've got people messaging me. That would be 9 minutes. That would be 8. So if you go back to 3, take off the 17, that would give me 11 minutes left. Is that right? 251. Is that right? Okay, so we know that the Linda Lane that the police reference is right. So that's my timeline. Holy freaking moly. You guys have seen my timeline video, right? I've got this big, huge poster board on the side of my wall, and it gave me exactly 2. Body cam started at 2:53 at Taylor. But how could that be at 2:50? How is that body? Oh my God, that body cam was right. 2:53. That would be 1:53 that lines up with the blotter. Holy moly, big country news. Hold on, let me pull up that report for that night. There were other calls that night. Hold on. Let me pull it up. This is November 13th. Was the whole system down, or was it just... would be their body cam 3 would be 20fucking1. Holy moly. That would be off too. That's exactly right when the Linda Lane, let me go to the archives. Let me go. Linda Lane archives, here we go. But why is 330 still missing? I did a video on this a long time ago. 250. Well, we've known this for a while. This isn't new. This isn't new. It's just different sounds that you hear. This is still off because according to my timeline, I've got 242. If you go and listen to 242, here it comes up. You hear people yelling. And then you hear, no, help me. $242.28. It's coming up right now. $242.28. Here it is. Yeah, this isn't anything new, but the only other time that I caught something was 242.28. Someone was saying 227. Sounds like they're outside in the backyard. $227 is the only other time I caught something. Does Senior have any new videos out? Right there. You hear the big ah. I see one video he made. Okay, so that is nothing new. So whatever Sherlock discovered had to have been like massive for him to be bananaed. That's for sure. I mean, what could it have been that he found? I mean, I'm curious. So I looked everywhere to find this blanket. Okay. And if you look at the later body cams, you don't see it out there anymore. I combed through all these body cams the other night, guys. It is wild. They don't show that side of the area very much, but this pink blanket in the report is said to be the blanket, if it's the same blanket that was covering Kaylee, and Maddie. Pink blanket. Okay. You can go back and review Connor's video. All of the body cams, they don't show this very often in the footage, but later on in the crime scene pictures, and I've looked everywhere for the outside crime scene pictures, there's no pictures of this area. The only picture in the audio cam that I found was on Warner that shows this actual footage on the little hill right there in an area where there is no cameras. There's a lot of noise. So is it possible that perhaps this happened in that area that they were covering up or blocking out? Now, I put this picture in my filters. Let me see if it pulled up anything. This is the actual body cam that I pulled this filter from. Let me see if it, I think I'm going to use a different filter on it. There is something blurred out to the right. And this was the side of the Jeep. Like maybe somebody had just gotten out of the Jeep. I mean, not that side of the car on the passenger, on the driver's side, or the black truck that pulled up, the Ford, whatever it is, Explorer, whatever. So I've got the body cam footage to seeing if they used any filters over it, any blurring technique. You see a little bit used on the right side. Let me put this up for you guys to see. You can see that it's blurred. This is a better picture of it. I just lightened it, and you can see the blur on the side of the hill. Now, I don't know if this is the camera or this is just like one of those photo, what do they call them? Not a blur, but an effect, right? So let me stop this video. Let me throw this one up here, and then you can take a look at it. Right to the right, right up here in this little area right here by the leaves and the rocks and the hill, right to the right side, it does look a little blurred out. So whatever happened on that side of the house, it looks like they did blur something out. I don't know what that could possibly be. I lightened it up. You can see that there is more of a blur. Let me try to use another filter on it to see if it'll show me what's there. I doubt it. But there is a blanket there that is... I don't see what it possibly could be that they blurred. Maybe it's just one of those camera issues. I guess I'll just chalk it up to bad camera. I don't see what could have been blurred over there. Anybody? Bushes? Take a wild guess. Yeah, a lot of overlaying. I don't know what that could possibly be. But when you go and you watch the video, let me grab it. Again, Connor's page, he's got the repository there, which is kind of nice. So it's one place that you can grab all these videos. Let me grab Nunez. He's the first one to arrive. Let me grab his and let me see if we could see this blanket in his when he arrives. Doesn't he walk on that side?
Up here?
Oh. He's looking down. Yeah, it's something out there. It is out there. I'm going to go and play it back slow. There is something out there. What is it? There is something out there. What is it out here in this area? Is it trash? Looks like a blanket. That blanket was there even before they gave Dylan and the other people that were hanging around blankets. So that blanket was already there if that is indeed a blanket. Here is the picture upon arrival. That is a picture of what's over there. Now, I don't know what it is. Who else goes on that side of the house? Can you see it from that angle? Let's see if we can see it from this angle. That is, let's try this angle. Ethan outside? There is something out there. There is something out there on the ground. Is it snow? Is it trash? Is it a blanket, a tarp? And what is on... That's Bethany and Jenna. Let me see. Do they not look over there again? I'm going to look for something outside on that side. Hold on. When they walk out, check Snyder's body cam. We're just looking around. We're just speculating. Probably blood from wet pressure washing. Just making shit up. I don't see that on his body cam. He's not looking over there. Let's see if anybody else looks over there. And there it is in Nunez's. What is that? He looks over there and then he looks away. He's there the whole time. Is that a blanket or is it just leaves? Snow? Snyder's already roped it off. Let's see if I can get closer like Munson said. Let me see if Snyder gets closer because he ropes it off. Let me see which one. He's roping and taping and he goes over there. Is that just snow? He's already gone over that side. Okay, there's no windows on this side of the house, guys. That's the only camera. There it is. I couldn't find it like in 2 days. Is it just a bunch of leaves? They were standing in front of Kaylee's car. They were just blurring people standing in that area. And which one? The one that I played before? Let's see. What was that? What in the heck is that? Is that a piece of wood back there? Looks like trash. Looks like trash. This is all... But remember the detectives were out here. Oh, it looks like trash. The detectives were all out there. I've got a couple pictures. And the cadaver dogs were out there. Let me lower that. That's annoying. That's a rock. That's a rock. It's totally a rock. It looks like some trash. It looks like a blanket, but by the dumpster looked like trash. Looks like a tarp. So he goes off, tapes the back. What is that? He's looking at the fence line. And that's the fence line that the other Captain Lanier says. So they must be very aware of it. What is he looking at? He looks a while before he tapes. Is he just getting it prepared? I got you. Ooh. Who was that message to? Hold on a minute. Yeah, he covered it. Pink tarps.
I copy.
Heat, I got you. Is that a game bag? Could be. Oh, shit. Could be. And once you put something in there, it turns pink. Could be. Great question. Game bags were in evidence. I'm going to slow this down as he's walking back there because this is the only footage that we have. Did he block that off when he walked by? In the back? Oh, he did. He used his arm. Look at that. Holy shit. He sure did, Lulu Bell. I just saw that. It was put under... Oh my gosh. I just realized that. He did put his arm up. Tarp or plastic in the back are those pink tarps. He covered the lens so you couldn't see it. What in the hell are back there? He saw what was under that blanket that doesn't seem to be like a tarp. The folds are soft, tarps are more angular. He blocks it. That looks like snow back there, some of it. Blocked out. Yeah, Caleb, go right ahead. Say what you want. What was back up there? When he starts walking back, hold on. Let me go back a few seconds. That doesn't look like snow. There's not snow back there. Caleb, you better not. Hey, Senor Rosowski. Good to see ya. Game bags and something in them, they turn pink. Is there something behind this car? They blurred it out on the left side of that Honda. They did. They blurred it out. Crap. Let's say if they blur out the area on the right, that is where they did all the luminol outside. What is a game bag? That's a great question. Since we're on a live dig, I'll show you what a game bag is. Game bags were in evidence, and this is what a true game bag looks like. Hold on. It's when you go hunting, and obviously you can definitely get these at Sportman's, Big Five, Cabela's, and this is for a 72-inch. It's what you carry a carcass in when you go to a hunt, and you can just go ahead and put the leftovers or cut out whatever meat you want from the animal right there on the scene, and then you put them in the bag. That is a game bag. And they did recover game bags in the evidence right here on the 14th. Game bags. Okay, so that's what a game bag is, guys. So let's go back to the video and let's see if we can see anything else in this video. Let me just check. We did that. We did that. All right, here we go. They did blur something out on the left side of that Honda. He's going to look down straight here. They blurred it out. They freaking blurred it out. The right side is where Seattle scrubbed their... I've got a video and I've got pictures of it right up there. It's blurred out right here next to Ethan, or that Jeep. It's all blurred out right there. And then he goes this way. Why did he go that way? To put another... Maybe he didn't see it before, but he roped that and had to rope it in. Yeah, you can use duffel bags, but the only difference with game bags is the blood doesn't leak out. That's the only difference. A duffel bag, it'll probably leak out depending on the material. A game bag is where you can throw a carcass in there and take whatever meat or organs you want and then carry it off and not leak. It won't leak out. Yeah, that 72-inch game bag is pretty big. 6 something. Is that a blanket, or is it leaves or snow, or did they block it out? That looks like a blanket. But maybe it's snow. A patch of snow on the rocks right there. But this, they blurred out over here. Totally blurred it out right here by this area. I'm going to put this in a filter and see if I can see what was blurred out. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this in here. There's something on that side of the parked car in the driveway, the Ford. So if their body cameras were off, that car came in at what time? 4:28, so subtract 3:28, and then 3:28, 26 minutes is 3:01. 3 something, 2 something. Maybe someone called somebody over when this was happening. This is the actual picture. Let me just take a picture of this picture. This is the actual picture I'm going to zoom in on. And let's see what the filter shows. So this black car could have showed up at the time if the body cams are in the... What is all right here? What is this? They definitely blurred it out. Maybe that was just snow up there, but it looked like it was a blanket. Let me do my good old standby and see if it's... Old Western. Let's see. What the heck is this? Nobody can park that close. I've lowered the contrast and the saturation. What is this? Trash? Debris? Oh gosh, I don't even know what to say. This is a hard one, guys. This is so odd. This is probably the best I could get it. What in the world is that? Oh, shit. Oh, gosh. This is the best I got. Somebody can go take a screenshot of that in that area and see if they could get a better filter, a better overlay. I don't think it's a note, guys. It looks like something else. Let me put it up on here. It looks like something else. Like maybe a head right here. They blurted out an outline. I don't know if that's accurate, but it could be. I don't know. Gosh, I just don't know anymore because we've been so lied to. You know, looking at something, you could think it's something, but it's not. Like messing with our heads, make you think that you see something you don't. That's just wild. It's a weird blob that they blurred out, but I mean, I did an outline of it, and gosh, that is a weird blob to black out. I don't know, guys. I'll show you what I outlined, and then you guys can take it for what you will. All right, I'll give you this photo that I just outlined and see if that is an odd shape. That's a shape. This is unbelievable. I don't know. You guys play around with it. Play around with it. Somebody could be laying on their side. You know, I don't know. But that is a weird blob to block out on that cop cam. That is just odd that they would not want us to see that laying next to this vehicle. I mean, I don't know. That's right there in this blob area. Who knows? I mean, just all these redactions. I agree. Could be something, could be nothing. And why does they keep saying heat? What is up with that? What is up with that? That whole area being blurred out right there. There's a paper. Yeah, the paper. And yeah, I agree. There was a paper there. But look at it's all blurred out. All of it's blurred the whole entire time. I'm going to play it just a little tiny slower, guys. Bear with me. Because redactions are not that perfect. If you play it slow, sometimes you can see what was redacted. Just one little snippet. They have definitely blurred this out right here by this car. Is that... Jeez. That part appeared. Take another picture. There's a little bit more of it that appeared. Something else appeared in the next clip. There's more stuff appearing as I go through the clips, guys. Somebody's laying there in a blue shirt. Blue shirt. It looks like a blue shirt. It's all blurred out, or is it a dry? No, it's all blurred out. Blue shirt, pink shorts maybe, or blue shirt. I'm going to put this through my editor. I'm going to see if I can slow it down anymore. Sometimes the blurring, I mean, it's not precise. And sometimes you can get a picture of what's been blurred. But it definitely looks like blue shirt. I keep seeing this blue shirt right here. And he puts the tape right in front of it. Damn it. I was so close, guys. Dang it. Dang it. He keeps going in front of it. Yeah, I'm going. One frame at a. I don't have that in my setting. What do you want, Jeff? God damn it, Jeff. How did you get in here? Did I not block this account? Wilson Grand Communications? I know exactly who you are. Did you make a new account? You gotta be kidding me. Really? I know exactly what you're in. The persuasion business. Get out of town. It's a default. Well, I appreciate that, Jeff. You must be the expert at what you do. Yeah, we looked into you. I appreciate it. But I don't know how you got back in my chat. Who let you in? Jeez Louise. This is never going to end. Anyways, let Jeff, I know. Who's Jeff? Just trying to help you. You're not trying to help me. If you know what happened, share and spill the deets, okay? You just go in and you troll people. Are you looking for the truth or are you pushing an agenda? That's what I want to know. Because I know that's the company that you work for and what they do. So please, just, the best troll is a silent troll. That's the best way. All right. Oh, well, this live dig has gone on for almost 2 hours, guys. I'm going to keep digging. I'm going to keep looking and searching because God damn it, Jeff. Now, you know what? Tell her what you said about her, you idiot. Tell Phoenix what you said. What did he say? I'm the guitarist around here. Beat it, Jeff. Legal swag. Jeff, the guitarist. I'm about to get feisty, Jeff. You date your socks. Is this going to be the Jeff stream now, guys? Jeff talks. What did you say about me, Jeff? I've used that name. What are you saying, Jeff? You out there talking shit about me? Oh my gosh. Interesting. Did you know? There's no hate. There's no hate. You got to do what you got to do for a living. I get it. This I do by choice. I don't need this for my living. Wilson Grand Communications, Jeff. Tell her what you said about her. Okay, Susie Little B. Tell me what he said about me. I know it'll be hearsay unless he says it. I've said many things about you, I'm sure. Oh, I did. No, I've never been dropped on my head as a child. Oh my God. Actually, I was in gifted classes, put ahead 1 grade, graduated early, went to the military at 17, worked in intelligence and computers. Dude, get out of town. Get out of town. Oh, you're funny. I know you're just joking around. I know you're here eavesdropping. If you've got a contract with some of these families, I get it. You just got to do what you got to do to survive out there in the world. Totally get it. No hate here. No hate at all. Lighten up, joking around doesn't cause cancer. Nope. Clearly a bad diet, overweight, immune system issues causes cancer, and obviously GMO food. And they've been doing it since the 70s. So, yeah, it looks like a bunch of trash, but they still have blurred this out. I'll get to the bottom of it. He said you fell on your head to Vivian. You don't think I don't see their conversations, guys? I don't let those mother effers get to me. They're just doing what they got to do. I understand if you guys have contracts. I understand. People got to make a living. God damn it, Jeff. How in the world did you get in here? He worked for Not Doug. Yeah, for Not Doug. That is too funny. All right. Well, it's been fun, Jeff. I'm going to go ahead and ban you again. Come on under another name. I don't know how the hell he got in here, but I banned him again. God damn it, Jeff. Now you're going to make me have to go and make emojis for my chat members and my membership people. And I'm going to make one that'll say scram, Jeff. All right, I'm going to go and do it. It's going to say scram, Jeff. I'm going to give you guys some awesome emojis. I've been working on it for the last week. I talked to Amanda B. I've got some pictures I'm going to use for some other ones. If you guys have any good emojis that you want to use in the chat, let me know. We'll make them. Jeff, you've been fitting Vive about every... Yeah, we know Jeff is a little sneaky bastard. We know that. He's gone. I banned all his other accounts. He just keeps slipping in here, opening his mouth. The best troll is a quiet troll. Susie Littleby, pipe down, honey. It's gonna be okay. He's allowed to think and feel what he believes, but he is a little alleged spy. They have no integrities. They're hired by people. They're getting paid to come and spy on other creators to see how close they get. Then they go back to their agency, and then the agency will send an email to YouTube, and they say, we pay to do this. We're paying people, and we need you to ban these creators. And that's how this freaking shit happens. Y'all need to wake up. You need to wake up. They are doing their job. They're getting paid to do, and they report back. See, I've had other people banned from TikTok. I've had literally other people banned from TikTok. You get with their legal department, you tell them what they're doing, and what happens? They get effed and they get bananaed. It's very easy. And this is some of the people that are connected to it. Just some. Okay? Alleged. So let them do what they want to do. It's my channel. I can ban them. They come in and under a different account. They're stupid for opening their mouths. Okay? I already know Viv's name. I know her address. I know her full name. I know everything about her, her little Italian heritage. I know who her mother is. Believe me, I am not dumb in this game, guys. Okay? I'm not dumb in this game. Boy, if you only saw some of the pictures that I found on Viv way back in the day, holy freaking moly. She's got like 29 accounts that I found. No joke. No, I'm not doing anything. But what they do is they go back and they report to the people who are allegedly crooked. And they'll say, this creator is talking about the Idaho 4. This is what they got. I've got proof. And now they're investigating what's on the side of this explorer. She's already connected the documents together. She's already done X, Y, and Z. She confirmed that the cameras are off, and they'll go to the powers that be over to YouTube and say, you need to ban this creator. This is how social media works. Social media is supposed to be for entertainment. But when you have real people looking into real cases, uncovering real corruption, real crap, real stupid stuff like this that gets people fired, prosecuted, released from jail, and the spotlight is on Moscow. It's not going away. They wanted them on the map. We're putting them on the map. Okay? So, yeah, Jeff has... I told you guys who Jeff was. I did a whole stream about him. Go back and look at that live. It tells you the company he works for, the political agenda they're pushing. Go back and look. Wake up, y'all. This is April 2nd, 2026. Wake the frick up. This is a great week to wake up to. That is for sure. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to stop from here on out, especially with technology, AI. It is crazy. It is wild. And you know what? I ignore them. Half of the time I won't even say anything. But when he commented, that's when I knew. Yeah, they've been watching for a while. They go over and they say how stupid I am and I can't read documents and I've got bad eyebrows and they'll just say anything to get you all feisted up, fired up, say something that they can use against you. That's how these people operate. It is counterintelligence. Don't you think ex-military people know this? It's a game of emotions. And if you don't have a strong mental mind was at right there in that area. There was the note there. Absolutely was a note there. But this picture was probably taken way after, and I'm going to show you the picture in the documents. This picture was probably way taken after everything had been removed, because they don't give us the date of when these pictures were taken. This is the ISP4 that was deleted from the internet. It was deleted. Absolutely deleted, blurred. Something was there. That was the note. These are the pictures that the ISP deleted. They didn't want people to see them. Allegedly, they're put them back out there. That is a gray knife handle. It looks black in some pictures. People have said they switched it. No, it's the gray. There's the swipe that male C left. Mixture. Mixtures. Mixture. Mixture. Terrible when you know these numbers by heart. Male C identified over at 1127. Who was male C? That's the question we should be asking. And a little bit about Adam Lauda. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This was in 2019. There's Adam. All right. And what's this stuff about?
So I have a little story to tell you all about this little wallet here, little clutch, that was in Kaylee's room, and I got it a couple weeks ago when I was going through all of her stuff. And some of you may be familiar with it, as it is laying on Kaylee's bedside table in a lot of the photos. But anyways, this little wallet, when I looked inside, had some stuff in it, and I will share that. So it had a little lip gloss and a little lip liner, a bunch of change, in addition to a $100 bill, a couple tens, a couple fives, and a bunch of ones. But it also had some things of Maddie's, which was like her identification, her debit card, her medical card. And so I originally thought, this is Maddie's. I need to get this back to Karen, you know? So, but I kept looking, and it also had Kaylee's debit card, and there was no ID of Kaylee's, but a couple other things that belonged to Kaylee in it. So I thought, that's kind of weird. So I called Karen and I told her about it. And she said, you know, that doesn't look familiar to me. I don't think it was Madison's. So we kind of thought maybe the girls just put their stuff in one thing that night and went out, you know, and it was all safe in one, you know, which makes sense. So I said, well, what about this money? You know, what should we do with this money? Should we split this money, or what do you want to do? So we decided to go to lunch. So last Friday when we went to lunch, Kaylee and Maddie paid for our lunch. So, and then lunch was only $75. So we wound up putting the 100 down and all the rest of the money. So our waiter, who was amazing, our little waitress, got a really nice tip from Kaylee and Maddie as well. So I just thought that was a cute little story, fun little story to share. I don't know, maybe you guys think it's stupid, but I thought it was fun, thought it was cute, and wanted to share it with you all. Love you guys.
So are they going to share that little
So,
story at CrimeCon, guys? What do you think of that? They're going to be going to CrimeCon. Is that the kind of content they want me talking about? Look at that. What do you guys think about them going to CrimeCon? Are they getting paid to go to CrimeCon? Most people do get some type of, a gratitude for their time and their effort, and maybe reimbursed airfare. I mean, have they finished paying everyone back that they said they were going to do from the GoFundMe? Did anybody get a refund that donated? I think it's weird too. That lunch video is really weird. Why would you want your daughter who passed away to spend her last little bit of money in her clutch? I would have kept that $100 forever. I would have put it away somewhere. Why spend it? That doesn't even make sense. Why spend your daughter's money that she had, the last thing that yeah, what in the hashtags, right? Trolls are miserable. Well, now there is something that she put up the other day, and we can talk about this because they made a video of it. Her and who is it? Stephanie ESQ put this up there, and I know they're recording. I hope they have tons and tons of hard drives and SD cards in their phones and their computers and all this stuff, because everyone's going to keep talking about this case. No one's going to stop. We're just going to keep on talking about it until we get to the truth. And believe me, last night I wrote 4 other senators talking about the IDAHO4 case, including my own in Arizona, and the attorney general again. And I'm telling you, this story doesn't sit well with many of the IDAHO4. If you know, you know. And they get this girl to believe them, allegedly, and she puts out videos. But some of the hateful comments that the G family themselves make, I mean, it's like pot calling the kettle black. You can go on their TikToks. You can go on and look at the comments for everyone else to see. Mrs. G is no saint in what she types on other people's videos. It's like she's encouraging them to continue to do this type of behavior. It's disgusting. Okay? I wouldn't be sharing everything at all. They're the ones that continue to share everything in this case. They're the ones that are going to go tell CrimeCon about their case. They're the ones making videos and pictures and telling everyone, hey, we got merch. We're working on some project about murders. Murder has a name. They were wearing the sweatshirt. Olivia has claimed that they changed the laws. That shit was in effect a long time ago. They just didn't want the pictures released. Like, they're special, and like every other case, they're not every other case. Why is that? Why is it that this case is not like every other case? Have you guys ever asked yourself that question? I mean, I just got the release of documents in regards to Richens in Utah, and that was a slam dunk case. Not a lot of questions, not a lot of evidence. They had key evidence. They went to trial, and she is going to be sentenced for the murder of her husband. Very easy, very easy. Do you think she's going to make money? No. They even changed the law recently in Idaho about the son of Sam law. They basically say that no murderer in Idaho can make money. And that was a result of the IDAHO4. I feel, in my humble opinion, this case has thrusted nationally to start changing law precedents. So is that why they have some lawyer pushing their agenda further? The one that makes videos all day long about other creators? I mean, I could show you a host of pictures. I could show you a host of videos. Believe me, documentation is key in any case, folks. And that's why I do not associate with any of the families in any case like this that is sus. Sus. All right? Okay? So if that's the kind of talk that they want to see if they can get us involved in, we could go down that route, but I usually stay away from this type of content. I stick to the documents. I stick to the court case. I stick to hearings. And this is the one that's so important because Ann Taylor proved Brian Koberger was factually innocent. How much longer are they going to perpetrate fraud? They're working their public relations right now. Absolutely. They got to keep up the alleged guys that Brian Koberger is guilty, but for how long? CrimeCon should be interested. Do you guys want to get a group together and go? I'll go. It's in Colorado this year, right? I wish it was in Vegas. I could do a Vegas trip real quick. I mean, we can actually do that. Brian Koberger's factually innocent. I can make a sheet and then share it. You know what? I can get a booth, a vendor booth at CrimeCon, and we can pass out the real information about the IDAHO4. I mean, I've gotten booths and vendor booths all over the place. Let me see how much a vendor booth is because I'm going to get a booth. I'm going to get a booth as an exhibitor. And we can share. Yeah, I can crowdfund. We can crowdfund right now. Interested in exhibiting? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Any donation that goes to the stream or my Phoenix Talks will go directly to getting to CrimeCon and some type of exhibit. Yeah, Lulu Bell, I know you're out there somewhere. If you need a ride, let me know. We take the high road. We're not their lamb. No, we should. We should go to They're talking about armchair detectives. We should go there. They're talking about us. I want to know what they're saying about armchair detectives. I'll definitely be there. Interested in exhibiting. I'm going to fill this thing out. There you go. There you freaking go. Everything that we donate, everything that we collect in the next few months, we are going to CrimeCon, whether as a just a attendant or an exhibitor. Okay, I want you to know I am going to print up evidence. I'm going to print the FBI reports. I'm going to print all the massive major reports. Anything that you donate will go to copying those. It will go to putting a binder together. If you donate, you guys can get a binder. I'll go ahead and put this all in a little simple binder. Go get it bound like a real book. And I am going to pass out the real evidence in the IDAHO4, whether I go in there or have to stand outside there and pass it out on live. I will be there. I just made that commitment. I will go to CrimeCon 2026, which actually is in Vegas. We need to be there. Okay? We need to be there. I'm going to buy tickets right now. The gold is sold out. The platinum is sold out. Damn it. I don't go unless I have VIP, guys. I'll join the wait list. And we will go to CrimeCon as a group. I will definitely live stream it. Yes, it's in Vegas. Whoever wants to meet up in Vegas and spread the truth about the IDAHO4, let's freaking do it. I will bring posters. I will bring binders with the truth. I will do it because I am an advocate for the innocents. And I will say this case, until someone shows me Koberger is factually, I am fired up now, just like I was fired up in Alicia's story, just like I was fired up in the 2A story with out of Ohio. I am freaking fired up, just like when I went on scene at Nancy Guthrie's house. I am fired up to find the truth. I thought it was in Colorado too, but it says now it's in Vegas 2026. It has the events. Get involved. Let me look at the events, the awards, Crime Cruise, International past events. I thought it was in Colorado too. Exhibit, sponsor, media, speaker, inquiry, creator, inquiry. I can go and speak about crime. Shoot. You guys have no idea. In the state of Idaho, I was threatened, not verbally, not physically, I was threatened. Someone put a 50-gallon drum with a skull and crossbones with my name on it. Okay? I was threatened. Went to court, asked for a restraining order. This judge, I don't know how I got this judge. I requested another judge. I asked this judge to do the right thing 7 times. He had 20 minutes and he couldn't decide to put a restraining order against someone who shot my window out, who put a 50-gallon drum, crossbones and skull with my name, like he was going to shove me in a 50-gallon drum. Guys, then they go on to send a 6'5", 285 guy to my residence, attacks me and my husband. I get a concussion. I have to go to the hospital. They prosecuted him to the fullest extent of the law. And this judge would not allow a protection order. Now, a protection order is just a tiny piece of paper. This guy was not going to stop threatening us. Not going to stop threatening us. I have all the evidence. I have all the pictures. I have court documents. I have the transcripts. I have everything. And yes, I've talked about personal safety. I've talked about 2A laws. I've talked about tasers and bear spray if it's legal in your state. You have to make sure all these things are legal to defend yourself. That guy was very lucky I didn't have my weapon on me that night. It would have been clear self-defense. But I didn't even have my shoes on that night. My daughter came over for my birthday. Yes, my birthday, March 20th. I won't say what year. Came over just for a birthday dinner and dessert. I picked her up. My husband and I went to go drop her off 10 minutes down the road. I didn't even put my shoes on. He was fucking lucky. I get out of the car. He attacks me, throws me against the car. My head bounces off of the windshield. Then he pushes me to the other side against the house. My head hits a stucco house, and I'm down, knocked out on the ground while he goes and attacks my husband. Thank God, by the saving grace, my other daughter opens the door. And guys, I've got all the freaking videos of this happening because we had 14 cameras all around our house the minute I was threatened. I got videos of them shooting my window out. I've got videos of them throwing and doing these little steely balls at my windows, knocking a window out, breaking my window. The cops knew what these guys did. I'm telling you. And here's the lesson. Document everything. He was sentenced to the full extent of the law. And this was a career criminal. He had been charged by the state of Idaho for stealing huge, giant boulders on government land. He was charged with dragging an officer on the back of his truck while leashed with a canine dog. And when the cops in Canyon County came to arrest this guy for doing what he did to us and violating finally a court order for protection, he didn't leave the area he was told to. They brought in 7 cop cars to arrest this guy because of his violent criminal past. 7 cop cars. Do you think he left willingly that night? No. He didn't leave willingly, guys. 7 cops to take him down. 7. All caught on video. All of it. And I will tell you, this guy finally got that I was serious. Leave us alone. Stop harassing us. We were in the right. We were in our own house that we did win in court a money judgment for. These people won't stop unless you mean business. They won't stop. So I'm making a commitment right now to go to CrimeCon. I will buy and register for this standard so I can at least go there. And I will report exactly what I see, just like I went to Nancy Guthrie's house. Scam 101. I'm telling you, folks, I'm interested to see who's going to present the truth out there at CrimeCon. Because these are the criminals we need to protect ourselves from. Alleged. These are the people that are right in front of our faces, continuing this perpetrated fraud, allegedly, that needs to be brought out. Document everything. Record everything. Phone calls, videos. That's the kind of world we live in, folks. In order for your truth to be shared and shown in the court of law, you have to have evidence. You have to have truth. You have to have custody records. You have to be the custodian of records. It has to be proven as evidence. Keep everything. Monitor everything. Yes, today I still have about 14 video cameras all around my house. They won't fail. I know that much about surveillance, communications, telecommunications that won't fail. Even if you shut my power off, they won't fail. I'm telling you guys, you have to be prepared for anything in your life. Military taught me that. If one thing that I'm proud that I served my country, did my time, got out, I am a veteran, that it taught me how to be prepared for anything. Because I guarantee you, if I would have had my weapon that night and shot that guy, remember, I'm a pistol qual in the military. I'm not a sharpshooter. I'm not a sniper. That was my dad. So don't mix those up. We have a standard joke in my family that someone put out on the internet I was a sniper. I'm not a sniper, guys. But I will say this. If I would have shot that guy that night in self-defense, I probably would have been arrested and sitting in jail. So I am glad I did not have my weapon that night. And that is true, Jennifer. No one is going to take care of you but you. Always be prepared. Always be on guard. Always know your surroundings. I could talk about safety for women because we're so busy in our day-to-day lives worrying about our family, our children, dinner, husband, spouse, fiance, aunt, uncle, mother, dad, brother, sister. And you know what? The last thing we think of is somebody following me home? Am I going to be the next victim of a crime? People don't think about those things. And yes, I'm divorced. You should, I'm not proud of it. I believed in marriage forever, but some people don't, and that's okay. I'm not ashamed of my divorces. I'm not, too. But you grow from that. And how long are we going to let the people standing in front of us that have been put in your path to perpetrate some type of fraud, alleged? You can't. Believe me, no one wants to make me a target because I fire back hard. Okay, I didn't win a massive court case and get the state of Idaho to drop charges against me that somebody alleged against me and remove it from the repository for nothing because they knew I was wronged. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for your future and your kids, brother, sister, mother, aunt, whatever. You have to stand up. I'll meet you guys at CrimeCon. Buy a ticket. If you don't buy a ticket, we can go out. We can go outside of the event. How many times have I been to Vegas for events? Oh my God. Like every year for the last 12 years. I mean, I did a circuit in Vegas for almost a whole week. I've got family, friends out there. We can have a really good time. We can even get a timeshare, chip in for a timeshare, and then you'll have to, or spend, split hotels. I mean, we really need to be more aware of what's happening in our world, in our environment. These people probably know or don't know about the IDAHO4 and what's the truth. Let's go spread the truth, because I know most of them probably aren't watching YouTubes on IDAHO4. So they've got Edward showing up at CrimeCon May 29th through the 31st. Vincent, retired homicide detective. Scott Duffy, retired FBI special agent. Cheryl, she's amazing, crime scene investigator. John Douglas, profiler. Let's see who else is showing up. Joe, he's good. All right. And we've got Zone 7, Crime Online, Generation Y, The Prosecutors Podcast, Mama Mystery, Coffee House Crime. I already said Zone 7. Those are some of the people that are coming to there. It's at Caesar's Palace. The rate's $349 a night. And Sunday night is $200. I'll probably show up on late Friday, leave early Sunday. I don't need to spend the night. I could probably stay with a friend out in, what's it called? They live outside of Las Vegas. So, I mean, think about coming to CrimeCon, put the word out there. Aaron Moriarty is going to be there, the host of 48, the correspondent of 48 Hours. There's going to be a lot of names out there. You think they're going to like me? No. Think they're going to know me? No. But I will say this. I will listen to what the G's have to say. And then I could do a video, and I'm not really keen on doing videos. I could do a video and show you how nasty some of her comments are, how encouraging for others to continue what they're doing. It's sick. That is bad behavior. No, it's Sparks, not Reno. I just remembered it's Sparks. So I will definitely be going to CrimeCon. If you want to join in, come with me. And you don't even have to stay at that hotel. You can stay at a hotel next to the Caesar's Palace and walk there. Find a really good cheap hotel. I mean, cheap hotels in Vegas. I think I know somebody who's got comp hotels. Maybe we'll go out there and get comped. All right, guys. So I want you to just to be aware of what's happening in our environment, in our world. And since they announced they're going to CrimeCon, I'm going to announce today I'm going to CrimeCon. I will see you there. We'll have some more details. I'm going to start getting important documents to print up and put it in a binder, like a little notebook, the truth to the IDAHO4. Or actually, I'm going to put the evidence in the IDAHO4, because I'm going to put everything factual, from court records to documents that highlight where we are today. Anyone who wants to come. And if you have nefarious intentions, don't come. Don't. Hire a bodyguard. I just might. You never know with Phoenix. You never know what you're going to get. All right, guys, be well. And yeah, Grandpa Joe. Yeah, I watched this stuff on Hulu before too. And I need one of those Idaho alumni to fund my Vegas trip. Well, maybe they have the leftover, the money that they never gave back to fund your trip, Stella. I would love to meet everybody possible that could get there. All right. Y'all have a great day. Stay grounded, stay logical, and stay focused, because we show up for one reason here. We show up to find the truth. Thank you for everyone who donated. I just got your, thank you so much, Caleb, for your donation. I just got notice of that. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you stay grounded and be well.
The whispers turned to echoes, and the echoes turn to lies.
They sold us easy comfort and a blindfold for our eye. Said to trust the hand that feeds you. Don't you dare to ask it why. But I hunger for the real thing.
Is a fire you can't deny.
Yeah, the ground is starting to shake now. Can you feel it in your bones? We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
I'm going to put a post up today. Make sure you guys watch it. Be well.
Every color, every creed now, tired of a great divide. We're looking for the facts, not fiction, with our conscience as our guide. They built their thrones on silence, but the quiet's over now.
We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
Let them hear the voices, a million strong and clear. The age of make-believe is over. The reckoning is here. We will not be fools. We will rise for justice and for truth. We will not be fools.
Brian is innocent. Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.